Hello, and welcome to the Cancer Journey podcast. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sherry Ann.
So, today we're going to be talking about cancer and loneliness, a very big topic during the holidays and something we really wanted to touch on. But before we do that, let's get grounded. So, I'm going to go first today with Pesh.
Okay.
Okay, so physically, I am a 4.25. Emotionally, I am a 4.5. Spirit is a 4.35, and hope is a 4.3. And my word is rolling.
Okay, I need this. I need to get grounded. Physically, 4. Emotionally, 4. Spirit, 3.75. Hope, 4.3. And my word is tired.
Yeah. And you get to be. So, cancer and loneliness, I think this comes up a lot and in a lot of different ways. When we're talking specifically about the holidays, obviously, there is that like mindset of tradition that comes in and being with your whole family, but even just the experience of cancer in itself as it's happening to you individually can feel really, really lonely. And so instead of trying to kind of pull someone out of it and like, or forcing yourself out of it, we want to recognize that this loneliness is here first.
Yeah. I often look at the difference between alone and loneliness. And alone just is a kind of a physical thing. I'm alone geographically. I'm here sitting alone, and there is no expectation attached to it like, oh, you're alone and lonely. It's more like I'm just alone. Truth be told, most of the time when I'm alone, it's like, ooh, I got, time to just be with me and to think about my thoughts and to do the things I want to do. And it's almost like a freedom because there's no demands by somebody else. There's nothing impinging on what I do except myself. And then aloneness in this moment feels good. There's autonomy in it. There also could be aloneness with loneliness, which to me is more of a I'm separate. I'm separate from everyone. No, I don't want to be separate. And that's where I want to just jump into the whole concept of loneliness, because in the cancer journey, we could be surrounded by our our loved ones, our friends. They're all there to support us and to do things for us and to do things with us. But you're right. When you're on a cancer journey and you're the only one who's going through the treatment, and people can be with you while you're going through your treatments, but they're not going through the actual feeling and sensations and oh, the fear of going through treatment and the pains and all the physical sensations, but also all of the mental sensations as you are as the patient. And that could feel very, very lonely. It's like, I have a headache, but you don't. My arm or shoulder hurts, but yours doesn't. And it's like, oh, I don't want to feel this way. And because I do, and it doesn't feel comfortable, there's a whole comfort level. It's like I'm I'm feeling like it's just me against the world.
I love the differentiation between alone and loneliness, and alone being kind of a spatial relationship, whereas loneliness is much more emotional, right? It's more of the unseen, because you can be, like you said, in a crowd of people and still feel so lonely, but it doesn't seem like you're alone, right? You're not alone, you're with a bunch of people. And what kind of exacerbates that feeling of loneliness during a cancer journey is what's unseen. You can't see all the physical fatigue. Maybe you'll see some of those like physical side effects, right? Like losing your hair, maybe losing a little bit of weight, maybe just like a little bit slower because you have a lower energy level. Like those things are observable. and much more easily observable for other people to see, but they're still not going through that same experience, nor are they going through the same experience, especially like minute to minute, day to day, of the emotional exhaustion that comes with it. Because there's that constant wrestling of like, I'm happy to be alive, I'm happy to be getting treatment, I'm grateful for the support, but I'm also sad. Like, I'm going through cancer. Like, that sucks. Period. It sucks to know that that's here in my life. It sucks to know, even, you know, if you ring the bell and you become a survivor, there's still the shadow of cancer that is there too. And that can sometimes feel like it's yours alone to hold that space, to know that that's there. And there's not always a place to put it. And so we continue to feel lonely, even when we try to tell our care team, like, these are the things I'm feeling. To an extent, they can only understand so much.
Yes. And the feelings and the mindset, which I kind of allude to mindset, kind of like my mind story, the story that my mind is conjuring up, making up, just as is swirling around my head. So mindset and feelings are so interconnected, and it's hard to separate them. But both of those are so personal and alone, meaning they're mine. And unless I express it or tell you about it, I'm holding it all by myself. And a lot of times, especially on a cancer journey, we don't want to burden anybody with the stories that my mind is saying and the feelings that I'm feeling. And so we hold it in, and that is so I want to use the word detrimental, but really it's so energy stealing that I'm taking energy away from my body to heal. Because, I mean, energy is energy. Either I'm spending it on um, trying to heal from the cancer, or working with the treatment and the chemicals, or I'm spending it with my mind and my emotions. And it's like, well, where am I going to put all this energy that's going to best serve me? And we tend to go, oh, I'm going to put all my energy on that healing part. But there's no escaping the emotions and the mindset. So we've got to give that portion of us a voice so that we can actually say and express what's going on in a safe way. So we're not a burden, but also to process. I'm totally an external processor. So for me, the best thing to do as I'm talking now is to just keep talking about it in a safe place where I'm not going to feel judged. I'm not going to burden anyone. No one's going to tell me not to think or be where I am, like a free, safe space. We are so reticent to do that. It's like we're not taught to give that part of us voice and time. And we
Yes,
always say, there's magic in the telling.
yes, yes. So I love that distinction of mindset and emotions and how they're interconnected, but also underappreciated. And I also think that that's because they feel so elusive. Not only are they not things that we often feel we cannot prove, right? Because if for some reason we feel in this world sometimes, if we cannot prove that it is true, that it does not exist. But the fact that you are able to give a name to it, or that some action came out of it for you, or just the recognition of it, that is proof enough that it exists. And so just denying it to ourselves is a disservice for sure. And I think that we need safe places to put that, and the things that feel so small. And actually what this kind of links for me is we did a hard emotion series, and one of the episodes was on resentment, and how resentment builds when there are these little tiny moments that build up, that we in the moment we kind of dismiss, and we think oh, it doesn't matter, yeah, it kind of bothered me, but it's not worth it to talk about. And we do that to ourselves. And so during a cancer journey, something as big as this, and it is such a journey. And it's an important word because it's such a flip from your day to day. Like day to day, you are going through like a journey. It feels a little bit less impactful because cancer is here. Cancer will demand to be seen and heard when you're on this journey. And so there's a lot of fluctuations of your emotions through it. It's not a typical thing that you're going through to day or thinking about in your day to day. It's not like routine. And so there's more likely to be these variations and changes and fluctuations in your emotions and your physical being and how you are internally reacting to all those things. So when we start to dismiss that in ourselves, we start to build that slow resentment for ourselves, and maybe it can echo out into the community around us. But sometimes that just becomes the impact becomes that we isolate ourselves and we're like, let me just remove myself, or I'm figuring this out, like no one look at me, like don't pay attention to me, I'm doing it myself, I'm figuring it out, when really we need that expansiveness. We need to feel like we're not shuttering ourselves in and blocking out everything here in protection of everyone else. It's actually in your own benefit to be open about it and sharing about it. But I will recognize right now that it feels so much easier to feel like you're taking yourself out of the equation for everyone else, for yourself, even sometimes, especially during the holidays and we want to remove ourselves. That's when we really feel like we could be in a room full of people and no one gets us.
Or we say, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to participate, which I so understand. And yet, I mean, I'm sitting here and listening to you talk, and all I could think of is, wouldn't it be a great, wonderful world if we could be and express how we feel without people reacting, without being responsible or feel like we have to control or care for the reactions? That doesn't mean we don't have impact, but it would be more, you know how you said, and you get to be tired. Wouldn't it be nice if everybody got to feel what they feel as if it were just a, a word? I'm not saying that it's not important, but not that we have to react to, oh my God, that person's angry. Oh my God, that person is upset. Oh my God, that person is crying. I mean, it's like we're so triggered by those particular emotions. Yes, just those, not just those, but those, that whole genre or litany of emotions, where if we could just say, wow, I'm really tired and low and I'm kind of out of sorts today. That doesn't mean I want to be excluded. That means I really want to talk about it. So, is there space here for me to talk about it? And in today's world, it's like, oh, let me make you feel better. Let me fix it. And I think that's why we're not such I don't really want to use the word emotionally intelligent. Really, I want to say emotionally accepting society, where it's like, okay, you're feeling that right now. Doesn't really have anything to do with me, but if it does, let's talk about that. But if it's not, then you just go ahead and talk about it. But I don't have to take any of it on. If there's something that I did to cause this particular emotion, I'll be responsible and we can talk about it and work it out without like fear and tension around it. But if I'm just feeling tired right now, or low or sad, and not even really know what that's about, but it is an emotion that I'm feeling, can I be in your presence and feel that and talk about it without you trying to fix me, trying to shift me to someplace else, or telling me, oh, everything will be fine, stop feeling that way?
Oh man. I mean, in this conversation, it seems harsh, right? Because we're talking about being accepting and kind of opening up this space for emotion, but actually it's so common for people to be like, it's okay. We're just going to keep going. It's okay. It's okay." And just kind of brushing it off as if like, "I'm going to distract you. You don't have to think about that." That really pinged me when you said it too, because I was like, "Oh man, I hate when I see that, because it's like, "Oh, you're sad. It's okay. We're just gonna keep going because we just gotta keep going, okay?"
Or they'll say, it'll be all right. Or they'll say, and one more, and then I'll let you have it. Don't be sad. Don't be mad.
Yeah. I mean, that's that force, not even positivity even. It's just get out of it. That's bad. We don't want to be there. And like I in my day-to-day life, sometimes when I see those interactions, I'm like, do I, chime in, or like sometimes it's not my business, right? And that is my own learning to do when it is my business and when it's not my business. But I will say that I think the best way to approach this kind of situation individually, as individuals, regardless if you are the person who is on a cancer journey or someone, just everyone, this is for everyone. You are an individual. Start by getting clear on just what's right here, right now. Just one name for the feeling that you're feeling, really. Um, because for me, it's kind of like a series of things. It's like, okay, first we figure out what's here, what's showing up for you. Ideally, let's think about this in like a subjective way, but it is your emotions, right? So you're recognizing that from kind of a place where your emotions feel hot, they feel heightened when we're noticing it. Because once we recognize this emotion, we then get a better understanding of what you need either to be here with that emotion, or if you do really want to shift out of it. Because sometimes they're the same. Sometimes it's just needing to express the emotion is kind of the solution. Um, but only you alone know what is best for you to do that. For me personally, give me a second alone, because if I need to cry and I'm sad, I won't cry in front of other people. I need to cry. I need to be alone to cry. Or I need to be alone in my car and put on a song really, really loud that has like a nice belt moment that's going to sound awful when I do it in my car, but I'm be on the highway, so no one's going to hear me. And I just need to like belt to this song that's full of emotion. It's probably some sort of musical or show tune. Give me some Defying Gravity. Like, give me that moment to just like be as loud as I can, because that helps me release the energy of it. And then I feel a little more clear to what comes next, or at least that I have that off my shoulders. And so it feels like a cleaner space to be in. Or let's say the emotion is loneliness, right? And I've recognized, well, I'm lonely. That's what I've identified right now. So what do I need to move forward? And then I get to choose. Of course, it's going to take a little bit of thought, but this is very like proactive. It's very mindful. It is that really, it's a conscious choice. None of this kind of passive, oh, it's back there. Actually, your emotions are pretty upfront. When you're expressing or communicating to anyone, some emotion is going to come out. And I'm sure much of it is real. I feel like people can kind of palpably feel when you're lying. when you're talking, you're like, oh, hi. And you're like, actually, you weren't feeling that underneath. So it's this personal responsibility to share what's needed in that space. And the more we recognize what we need, the more we can recognize what someone else may need. That was a mouthful.
I know, but so I'm so stuck on Defying Gravity. I love the whole Wicked movie, but really it started with the Broadway play. It is by far my favorite. And what popped into me was that song Loathing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, it's like we never get to say what we really want to say. And so I taught this to you when you were little, that making someone bad and wrong, because you're just angry and you're just mad and you want to say these things that you've never been able to say. And in that song Loathing, what the only part that comes to my head is your face. Like, I loathe your face. I mean, to say that to somebody is like so horrific. It's like, that's really, really mean, because we have no control over the face that we're born with. It's the face that we're born with. You can go have plastic surgery. You still are the face that you were born with. And so when you were little, we would say, okay, let's make them all bad and wrong. We knew the container that we were going to play in. We knew that we were going to go all the way to the ridiculous. And it became this, all right, I'm starting to get that emotion out and express it. And then we got to, really silly, ridiculous things like your ears are too big, your feet stink, there's, snot coming out of your, I mean, like,
What came to
Your
mind was
mommy
trapeze
made you
thing,
wear
so I'm right there
short,
with you.
short pants. Or whatever. I really meant the floods when I say short pants, but
Yes, yes,
right.
yes.
And then you start getting into the ridiculous. But it's you get to say what you say without hurting anyone's feelings, and you really do mean it in the moment because you're saying it with fervor. But then you allow yourself to not stop and like judge yourself. You're like, okay, now I'm going to go to the most ridiculous thing I could say, and then it's like, oh, you're laughing, and that feels good. So it's the whole process of the making something bad and wrong until it's not bad and wrong anymore.
Right. And this doesn't ever go if it's a person that we're making bad and wrong, you don't tell the person. This is like the safe container where you can say like the most ridiculous stuff, regardless if you actually mean it, because we are all complex beings. We're not going to completely hate and completely love people. There's going to be always a mix of both and everything in between. You can feel very neutrally about someone, but you know, there can be some bad things, some good things. It's really going to be a mixed bag because everyone's experience is completely different. But yes, I deeply remember that that was a really good like game when we were really angry, you know, and it really did create this container of okay, I'm gonna make them bad and wrong now. We didn't play the opposite side of that, which I guess would be like good and
Grateful.
yeah, we didn't really do that to be honest, but we didn't need to because it wasn't about that. It could be a nice practice. That's your choice to do. But oh yeah, that was a fun game. Because it releases it and then you can go and you can have this experience with that person, especially if they're going to be and continue to be in your life without holding them to it all because you're like, ugh, I'm just being silly. I want to come back to loneliness, specifically loneliness on this journey. And I think it's one of the easier emotions to tap into during a cancer journey. And kind of in the same way, like to understand the loneliness and how to get out of it, we have to first acknowledge that we're lonely, not just alone, lonely. And what that looks like for us because for everyone that's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, we can start with the word loneliness, but what else is there? Um some people who especially if they have defined themselves as like introverts, which is a self definition which you do not have to link arms with forever. But a lot of people, when they're introverts, they definitely feel lonely around a lot of people. You know, they're not alone, but they will feel lonely. And so for people who feel that way, there are a lot of other ways that you can describe what loneliness feels like. So I do want to invite a little bit of like an exercise, this like loneliness to connection exercise. So first you'd start a timer for 10 minutes and start with either what does loneliness mean to me? What does it feel like in your body? Does it sit somewhere? Does it have a color or a texture? Is there a specific instance that comes up for you? Is there someone who makes you feel lonely? Is there, you know, just all the things that come up for you, especially when it's really hard to think of what how loneliness is showing up? Putting in situations, putting in shapes and colors and textures and involving your senses really not only brings it alive, but it makes you able to better understand what it feels like when it comes up for you. And then after those 10 minutes, you shift. And instead of what does loneliness feel like or what is loneliness for me, it's what does connection feel like or what is connection to me? And spending another 10 minutes on that. And that way you can get really clear of how you can shift from here to here. And I think that when we're feeling really lonely, it feels hard to pull ourselves out, right? I don't think anyone really wants to sit in loneliness or that isolation that comes with that feeling. We rather be in connection, but it's not so easy as to snap your fingers and go, okay, we're gonna be connected now. So to kind of do this exercise and have this practice not only helps you shift from loneliness to connectedness more, but it does it in the specific way that works for you. And it gives you a place to start exploring because the more you put that conscious effort into understanding how those pieces feel for you, the easier it is to shift and feel connected and feel the way you want to while still acknowledging and honoring this fact that loneliness happens. You're going to feel lonely. You know, it's not an avoidance of that feeling. It's that recognition that, okay, this is here for me. And I've expressed it by, you can continue to do that kind of journaling, writing practice, or that brainstorm of what kind of loneliness is here right now. It might not always feel the same. Again, emotions are so elusive, but what do we want in connection? It doesn't necessarily have to be the antithesis of it, right? It doesn't mean like, okay, loneliness, it's when I'm sitting alone in my house, versus connection being out at a giant birthday party. It doesn't have to be that huge of a jump. It can be just texting someone or calling someone on the phone, or something small. And it doesn't have to be a solution that you actively do right away. This can just be an exercise, a practice to get clear for yourself, and to make you feel more whole. Maybe even this practice will help you feel more connected, maybe connected to you, and that can feel really grounding.
And that's what I was thinking while you were talking. It's like, yes, I can think of ways to be connected out there, but really, I'm missing me. I'm not seeing me. So in that first initial 10 minutes, or maybe you add another 10 minutes after that initial one to get, kind of like get the, I don't know, it's not fire, but like the top level out. And then you're like, okay, I'm calmer now. Or okay, that's there's some clarity understanding there. And it's like, now what is it that I'm not getting? Because I do think that loneliness happens when we don't feel seen, heard, and gotten. And that's especially by ourselves. So it's like, okay, how can I see myself more in this moment? So just a little adding to your exercise, which I love, by the way, because we don't take the time to feel our emotions, and they are messengers. They're so important.
Okay, so my takeaway, because that was a bit of an aha right there too. And this, like, just as you said, like, cancer and isolation, they really go together. But oftentimes that loneliness is from ourselves. We feel so pulled from ourselves, the self that we knew before. Um, Cancer is a journey of transformation. And you really get to choose how much you want to transform. But the only certainty is that change is going to happen. And the more we can be open and honoring of all those fluctuations of emotions and changes that come, the more easy it is to navigate into whatever is coming next for you. Because there is a future, there is a next step. Being in this space right now might feel a little uncomfortable. It might feel lonely, but the more that we can be aware of what's here, you can then make a better choice to move into something more powerful that is more aligned with who you are. So
Pesh.
that's my takeaway. My pesh. Physically, I'm a 4.35. Emotionally, a 4.65. Spiritually, a 4.4. And hope is a 4.4. And my word is, there's something about this like elusiveness, but it is still like meaningful. That's it.
Okay, got it. My takeaway is it's okay. Like, all the emotions are okay. It's not, oh, I never want to feel that, or ooh, that's yucky. Um, we don't have to judge them. I actually I'm in a new space. I know I always say that uh, emotions are messengers, but I'm actually going to change that today for a moment and say they're signs. There's signs that want to get your attention that says, go here, don't go here. Yeah, go here. I've got something to show you, and that it's worth our pause. It's worth our time to go in. That's why I really love this exercise that you're putting out here. Is let me give myself 10 minutes and try to figure out what it's saying to me. Like, let me just write whatever. I guess people call it brain dumps. It's like a brain soul heart dump. It's like, what's going on in here? I don't quite know, but I know I'm feeling this sensation called loneliness, and really get connected to that. So I love this, and I love this exercise. My PESH, physically 3.9, emotionally 4.25, spirit 4.3, hope 4.4, and my word is better. It's amazing how talking about how we're feeling really does shift me, period.
Yeah. Yeah. We're honoring the space, you know? We pride ourselves on being able to make space for that, and that's also why doing this feels so good. Well, thank you for tuning in today. We hope you take some time to try out that exercise, and if you do, let us know. Send us a comment about like how that landed for you, and we'll be back next week with a new episode.
So have a lovely rest of your day, and remember, you're more powerful than you realize.